we've delivered electricity to the door of this.
In 2018, government launched the electricity free connection policy that was aimed at connecting 300,000 households per annum across the country in the period of 10 years. 2 years down the road, only 245.310 connections have been covered under the policy by the time of its suspension. Peter Kauju, the Umeme spokesperson, one of the implementing agencies from Rural Electrification Authority, explains the reasons behind the suspension.
We had to put a halt to the connection because the funds were depleted. So where we stand, there are discussions going on.
Every meter that is put on a household, we are paying $230.
The suspension had dealt many beneficiaries a huge blow, leaving many without power and some not sure whether they'll be connected after paying their 20,000 shillings. Patrick Ocheng is one of the affected residents in Tororo district. Ocheng is a chapati seller who sacrificed a lot to make sure that his household is connected, but in vain.
I had to wire my house after selling my cow, but now I've been quite disappointed because we have waited like for over 1 year and without seeing power.
Ocheng's story is not any different from Richard Okum, who thought by August his house would be connected.
They have sold goats, cows, they need that power. But now, since 1 year and a half, we have not benefited anything.
Government, however, says there are no funds, citing a drop in revenue because of COVID-19.
Umeme said for the free power, government has to pay them. Then they give free power. Imports are not coming. So, but
to Dickens Kamgisha, the executive director of African Institute Energy for Governance, says government is to blame.
How much money do we collect from each consumer who is connected, considering that now poverty levels are increasing? So if you're going to invest 700 million, that is almost equivalent to 2.59 trillion Uganda shillings. If you consider that one, that is a huge part of our budget.
And when the bill came out, when I used it for 1 month, the bill was beyond my capacity. I could not afford. I found it was hard for me to continue using power.
Expert in the energy sector David Mugisha says the electricity-free connection was mismanaged.
The people who conceptualized the free electricity connections policy are being sidelined, put on the side, and now bringing in a new concept totally different from the initial design. Initially, the Rural Electrification Agency had planned to have as many as 120 million new connections over 5 years. They had a financing plan that would have enabled them as an agency to connect many new customers.
Mugisha says that early this year, the World Bank was meant to inject millions of dollars, but the Ministry of Energy advised the contrary.
A $400 million project from the World Bank intended to scale up connections. That project was supposed to be effective by the end of 2018. As we talk now, the new Minister of Energy, we have read online that she has written to the World Bank to change its design. 2 years and a half late, we are now going back to zero.
But what does this suspension mean to the beneficiaries?
We have to go back and meet our own costs of a no-pole service. That is, if your new premise doesn't have, okay, it has a pole but no connection, you pay for a no-pole service.
Before the suspension, the Energy Minister blamed the Rural Electrification Agency of failing on their mandate.
I say that we shall give a press conference after we have finalized as government.
The electricity connection policy is a 10-year program that was aimed at increasing access to electricity.
We have issues of energy governance on one part, then we also have issues of technical delivery on another. And I think His Excellency the President is the one with the key.
Nabakoza Lydia, NBS, live at 9.